Hi, welcome to Soul Food Ministries and Outreach. I'm Henriette Hobson. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the focus of this channel, which is no more Jim Crow. We are not going back. No matter what happens, no matter where, in the laws or what have you, we're never going back to slavery, Jim Crow, and ill treatment and unequal treatment. We're just not going back to that. We are we have far exceeded that level of I'm not sure right now what the word to use, but not having the courage, low self-esteem, whatever we were programmed to be, to accept some mess like that. Now, even then we weren't accepting it, but we have way more tools today. And the most powerful tool is Jesus, is prayer to the true, one and only true living Father, living God. So, there's no racism or prejudice here. I have never been a racist or prejudiced person. I will call you out, even my own and myself, but no prejudice here. It's all legit. If I don't know something, I just say I don't know. I may give you what I'm thinking about it or something, but usually it's just out of I don't know, because I don't want to mislead anyone. This is to be the real deal, because I am the real deal. I'm serious about my faith. I don't compromise it with anything, at least purposely. So it's all alleged, all entertainment purposes, ministry purposes, informational purposes, my First Amendment right. So, Jesus is Lord, God, and King of my life and of everything I do, including this channel. So, just a heads up. I haven't been on and posted anything new. I've got new ones that I haven't even posted that are still just kind of hanging around in my phone, but I've been, it's kind of addictive, but I don't like watching it because it gets a little bit, not a little bit, a whole lot, raunchy, very vulgar and very, just, even though God is mixed in there, thank God for the people that do love the Lord and that are respectful to him. And Kitty Rose is one of the top notch of that. I see her sitting there. I don't know the name of the podcast is the thing, but you all know who Kitty Rose is and this platform podcast that she has been a part of, where they traveled around. Now, I don't know that they have stopped traveling around or not, but I know that her and two other of the more influential ones, or however they pick to go together, are on their own podcast. Now, the young man Ace, he just gets way too vulgar and too nasty, in expressing some things. Even though he has very good points on, life and how things kind of can go, should go, might go, whatever. A level of sensitivity. But that part of him that loves to be just the all-out nasty, vulgar expression, instead of just toning it down. If you gotta speak about something, like what takes place in intimate relations, it doesn't have to be just raw like that, So that's one of the things I don't like about it. Even though, and all of the profanity, it's just used too much. And so I have to pick and choose, and detox from, but it's interesting. It is interesting. That's the thing, that's what makes it addictive. Comical, it's got it all. It's got the whole thing. So I've been listening to some of that. One particular thing I've been wanting to come on and say something about it, but give my feedback on. But one of the things that I was just looking at, and they are young a middle-aged man, he got up and he was saying, what did they think? And it really kind of tore him down. And I think that the panel was so into, the mind wasn't open to really being able to see and hear in this particular situation and a few others. But that's the way life is, you know. you follow what man has to say about something, and you know you're gonna get the way they do it, so, and the way they believe and think. But the gentleman came up and he said, I don't mind dating single moms, which are, I guess, he says he dates women that like him that have, he's single, and he dates women like him that have adult children like himself. But there are also, I guess, younger women that have younger children that he also, you know, has had and have an opportunity to date. But personally, he says, I'm here to date her, not her children. I don't want anything to do with the children. My children are grown. He says he has been a good dad, been there for them, and he still are, and all that. And nobody has to ever meet his families as far as he's concerned. He says, but he is there to be that break that moms say that they need from the kids. And he doesn't want anything to do. He don't want to, you know, he wants an adult life. Now, they really raked him over the coals. Even the audience booed him, you know, and all of that. I think that was wrong. The one young lady, she said, then don't date women that have young children. Listen, I mean, you know, I understand her fight for and being, you know, all for, you know, women being treated well and not, you know, not downing single moms and all that. I'm all with her on that. But she was closed off when it came down to hearing what he was actually saying. He says, well, why do I have to shrink my dating pool? You know, first of all, you shouldn't ask them. And there's nothing wrong with your preference of dating. The problem with it is that there are women that want to date. They want to go out with someone. Excuse me. But there's too much emphasis on these women wanting the men that they date to take care of their children. He is saying, I am here to take you out on a fun time, just you and I, the two adults. And that's it. I mean, they did not broaden the scope to look at, well, and he did. He said, well, why is it that women say they want a break from the kids, and I'm the break? Why do I have to either not date them and they want to go out and I, you know, whatever, and have a good time? He said, I'll take care of them, do them right. But I just don't want to deal with the kids. I don't blame him. Mothers want to get away and they don't want to be bothered with the kids. And so why are you going to force this man to want to be bothered with the kids if he don't want to be bothered with the kids? It's just like if you want to go to the gym or you want to go to the spa and you want to get away and you don't want to deal with the kids, you want to just clear your head and you just need some adult time, somebody to talk to as an adult, and especially if you're a single mom, somebody that, you know, I mean, this is if you're in this type of a dating pool, that, you know, whatever, and just go out with the guy and you and him. You go home to your children after the date. Whatever else you decide to do, that's all on you, between you and God. And he go home to his. Next morning, same night, whatever it is that you do. I don't see anything wrong with that. You go out with the girls without the kids. You go get your nails done without the kids. If they don't allow children in there, you got to go without the kids. And so why is it that he's made to feel bad about saying, I just don't want to deal with any kids? It's not that he hates kids. He's past the stage of wanting to deal with the kids. And it's up to the woman to decide if she wants to go out with him, and those rules apply. Now, if you're just out there to use a man to, you know, which I see these unbelievable videos of some of these youngsters. Most of them that I've seen videos of are young to 30s or whatever, 30 maybe. But you got to buy, if you're going to take me out to eat, you got to buy food for, you know, Ray Ray and Pookie and, you know, the whole entire house, the babysitter, my cousin, you know, you know, it's like, really, it's outrageous. It's outrageous. And then most of this stuff that I've seen has been first dates. And, you know, it's just a whole scam thing. It's very, very distasteful. Lacking of character and etiquette and whole lot of things. That's a great, for one thing, it's good that he's open about it. Someone did mention that on the program, that, you know, most people don't open up, most men don't open up and say that. They just, you know, though good and well, they don't want nothing to do with it, and they, you know, bounce after a certain time when it's time to bring the kids in or whatever, and just leave people on, but to get what they want. So listen, if it's a man that don't want to meet your children, they don't want to be bothered with the kids, they don't want to know them, they don't even want to hear about them. If you want to be able to go on a date where you can just get away from it all, talk adult talk, he doesn't want to hear if you have children or not, then it's just, go on the date, enjoy the date, you know, out to eat. I'm not talking about anything beyond a date, like, you know, out, eating, movies, or, you know, whatever. But if you do it beyond all that, you know, that's like I said, that's something else. My opinion, it shouldn't be done beyond that, especially with someone that doesn't want to be in any way intimate outside of just you and him. I wouldn't get physically intimate with anyone like that, because if you happen to come up with, if you're able to still, you know, bear children and come up with one, it's going to be an issue. Why bring that on yourself, you know? And so if it's someone that just wants to go out, have some fun, you know, you all want to go dancing, you want to go, you know, to the festival or whatever it is that's out there, okay, that you want to go and do and have just a wonderful evening, wonderful day. Even if it's a weekend, it's up to you. If he's that kind of dude now, to, unless he volunteers for it and you say, well, if you want me to go on the weekend with you, I have a family and I have to have provision, safe provision for them. while I'm away. So I don't have that type of financing to do it. And so if you want me to go, you have to provide finances to pay for a sitter or what have you. If he's not willing to do that, and then don't go. Then we have to keep our visits local, where I can be accessible to my children with someone that can only keep them during the day or a few hours of the day or what have you. I mean, come on, you got to be just depending on your situation. But that's okay if he doesn't want to meet your children. And it's a good idea to not let someone meet your children anyway for a long time after you have dated them. Because you don't know what you're dealing with. You're still trying to find out. Poor little kids don't need to be involved in that mess. So I was responding to that. There's a lot of things about marriage that they talk about that is like, it's not valid. Well, I mean, a lot of stuff that they're saying, they haven't been around long enough, really, or experienced enough, or just don't have the right teaching to be able to have a really well-rounded answer to some of these problems. A lot of it's really, really good. But some of that is like, no, So, that was a response to that. Go out, have some fun, spend the day, walk in the park, picnic, whatever it is, go. And the kids never have to be involved in any of that. You need some time, of your own. And hey, and don't get mad at him because he doesn't want to be bothered and involved in it. And if you bring it up and he rejects it, then don't get mad at him. That's not what he wants to do, especially if he told you from the beginning. And that's something that needs to be asked from the beginning. I have children. So how, if we go on or whatever, however you want to, deal with it, but no need to get angry at him if you already know that that's how he feels. Or if he completely ghosts you after you try to force that on him. Even when he's already told you that he doesn't want to be bothered with that. Or she. Like he said, I'm not looking for a mother for my children. He's in a place where, this is where places that he's in. And the young lady's trying to tell him, but then don't date women. You can't force this man to want to take your children in. Consideration of his life. He's there to make you feel better. Enjoy each other. Have a good time around the city or whatever. And that's all he's interested in. Fun and a good time with you. If we don't, as parents, learn how to have some self-time, life gets entirely too stressful. Even if you are a Christian woman and you are not going to be intimate with anyone, you need to put that right up front before you even go anywhere. Listen, this is where I am in my life. Instead of getting at a place and, people talking about, well, I'm not paying for the meal if you don't come home with me tonight. You can avoid all that trauma. You don't need that. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, I probably may never go out because this is what life you choose. Okay? And they are not worthy of you. Especially if you're out with someone and they're like that. You need to find out who you are out with. So, there's that with that scenario, that situation, and it was some others, people that, I mean, the panel was kind of hearing what they wanted to hear, And it's like, you know, you got to hear what they hear. First of all, I think people listen. This is what I'm okay. There are people, I'll just say this. There are people that get up to that microphone in front of the whole entire world, because internet is worldwide. It can go anywhere. And you're telling your business, your intimate business, someone's secrets over a microphone on a video that is going to go worldwide, called the World Wide Web. And this one woman, she gets up there and she tells that her husband has decided that he wants to tap into his feminine side, putting it, you know, and that he never told her that he had any desires for the same sex when they were first getting together, and I guess before marriage or what have you. And she told him that she had been involved in some situations, I guess prior to their marriage, knowing each other. And that was something that she did beforehand, but she wasn't involved in that anymore. Once she was married to him, it was just her and him. So then he comes up with this. Now, they started asking more intimate questions. She didn't want to answer some things, but she felt pressured in a sense to, or like she needed to or should. Well, no, you know what, your marriage is getting ready to be completely, you can cause that person to commit suicide. You can cause that person to, your marriage to be completely wiped out. They can lose their job. All sorts of things. We're coming out with some intimate stuff like that about your spouse or your partner. You don't need, write in an email and get, you just gotta ask someone. But, and you don't worship Jesus and, hear from the Father or anything, what's going on. And so, you're running lives here. Now, these platforms are fun and they're funny and they're, they have some validity. But don't get on there and ruin your life, your other family's life, and people lives, telling that stuff out on the, first of all, you could be sued for defamation of character, all kinds of things. No. I know that sometimes you just feel like, and really I'm going to tell you, it's Satan that makes you feel like, I got to tell somebody. This person is doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm so tired, and they're horrible, and they're doing this, and they're making life miserable for me, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. I understand that. I know that feeling. And anybody that's been with anybody, you've had issues at all. If you're not a quiet person and is able to hold things in and all that, and that's not your personality, it's easy to get caught up in, telling somebody about it, venting to someone. One thing we need to learn is to learn how to, you don't have to hold it in dangerously, where it's danger to your health. But telling the world and messing up people's lives, that's only adding stress to the situation. you think you're going to fix something by telling it. You think you're going to fix yourself. It's making you feel better or whatever. Somebody knows. They ain't no good. They pretending like they look like they, You know what? Christian or not, go into that secret place of God. You need to go and find that place in the Lord, the secret place. And hide in Him and confide in Him. He's the only one that can fix it anyway. And what I have found over the years, that no matter what, for one thing, you cannot change someone. What I found out is I had to change me. There were things that about my personality that I had to change. You think, now there's some situations you just need to get out of. It's just simple as that. You don't need to be in there. But I found out in some areas that you just don't even give a rip. Just, I don't even care. Don't even matter. Some stuff just don't matter. And you've got to get to a place within yourself that it doesn't matter to you. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't affect you. I'm not letting water off a duck's back. That was my prayer to the Lord. Lord, there are things, especially when you're a very sensitive person, wear your feelings on your sleeves, as they say, thin-skinned or whatever. You've got to get that fixed. And the peace that comes with that is priceless. It is. I'm just telling you, it is. Oh boy, do you save a lot of drama from your life? And that includes children, everything. You've got to get to a place, the best place, I say. And I'm still working on it because, you can be one of the most laid back, got it all together, kind of not think you got all your triggers fixed, but there's triggers in there you don't even know that are hiding in there. So it's an ongoing, and my way of being healed is through the Lord. Prayer, applying His word, His love, His grace, His blood that cleanses, redeems, all of that. And so if you're not born again, you can get born again. It's an easy thing to do. Don't cost you anything. It costs you your pride or whatever foolishness you believe. You've got to, by faith, decide that God's going to be your one, Jesus is going to be your one true and only living God, and you're going to believe it with all your heart, whether you believe it or not. You choosing to believe it. Whether it is registered and made sense in you or not. God's ways don't make sense to us. And allow Him to penetrate in there and heal and let you see and put the light on it. And even if you don't want to be saved, I'm telling you, this is universal for any and everyone. There are things that we get all, what they say, your britches in a bunch about that don't even matter. You think it's the biggest deal ever. Kids, grown people that have children and younger children that are in sports and everything, and you see these grown people jumping on the ref. Now, I don't condone that, but I'm just saying, if the ref is not allowing your child to be hurt, beyond sports rules and all that, pull the kid. If you have to pull them right there on the spot because of the danger, if it's danger. But, white knuckling it and, and the kid sometimes they don't even want to be in the sport. They don't want to be in the sport. They're not going to ever do anything per se with it that you got to be white knuckling it. It's all about building character, building discipline, and, building things inside of them to make them this adult that can handle life better. Don't take it so serious where, you're all stressed out because they didn't win and they're boo-hooing because they didn't win. All of that. You're going to want to jump on the ref and the other team and go that's very childish, immature. And adults should be bigger than that and better than that. Kids, to be able to teach their children how to have good sportsmanship, because it's all about discipline. So anyway, I hope this helps. I'm going to come back with some more, because there's so much more I want to talk about that, but I don't want to make this really long. I'm past my 30 minutes. So I pray it helps. Get saved if you're not saved. Ask Jesus to come into your heart and mean it with your heart. Not understanding everything, not feeling strong enough to be done with sin, but by faith you have to be willing to be done with it. And let him give you the strength to get rid of it. And he will. See you next time. Love you. Jesus loves you more than anyone. Like and subscribe.